About 6 months ago, I began streaming on Kick. I was already streaming on Twitch. Let people know that I was a real programmer. I created my own stream overlay and chatbot. Let me show you. If you type the name of a color in my chat, it's gonna change the color of my webcam border, my terminal, and even my code editor. Watch. So if I were to type green in chat, everything turns green. Bits and subscriptions are gonna make my printer go brrr. And I have my custom chat overlay. Every single chat command runs code that was proudly written by me. This is possible thanks to the Twitch API. It allows me to turn my stream so interactive and unique. And I wanted to do the same thing on Kick, but a chat told me that there was no such API. Or is there? You see, with the advent of client-side rendering, web developers have stopped embedding information directly in the HTML page and began providing it separately as a service. And these services are implemented in a similar fashion as APIs. They essentially are the website's API. They're not designed to be used by third parties, but they can be. There are some downsides. There is no documentation, there is no stability, and there is no support. You're essentially on your own. But now I got access to chat. I can get my channel information, including my stream status. I can log in, I can send chat messages, I can get a list of my subscribers. I can even give you your precious follow age. And this has allowed me to do a lot of things. I've been using a fork of JChat. I made it display my Kick.com chat in my stream, so it can simultaneously show Twitch chat and Kick chat. All emotes work. Let me show you my Discord bot. My Discord bot can announce that I went live, and it even embeds the thumbnail of the stream. And I like to do some funnies. I purposely start the stream with the funny pose to attract as many eyes as possible. I'm a funny boy. I made it so that you can actually log in with your Kick account on my website. You'll be able to show off your badges, regardless if you're on Twitch or on Kick. So all of the badges that you got from the viewer rankings are available to you on Kick. I'm gonna be adding more Kick-related rankings. I made a chatbot. It allows you to trigger TTS, gives you your follow age, and plays media.
Oh no, cringe.
And the receipt printer also prints a receipt when you subscribe to me on Kick. It prints your profile picture too. And the thing that I'm most proud of is the extension. I have built a browser extension, and it uses the API for two things. Every single one of my subscribers is going to be listed in the extension. The username color feature needed the API for security reasons. I have another video about that if you're interested. All these different programs that I wrote could have interacted directly with Kick.com. But do you remember when I said that there was no stability? There's no guarantee that they will work reliably. Some of them are not even providing the data in a friendly way. I need to work it a little. The website could just change, and it's happened in the past. Also, making too many requests will hit thresholds that block access to the API. If the follow age command just stops working, even just temporarily, I look bad. On top of all this, I gotta keep track of my session cookies. There are so many failure points. But I'm not willing to wait for Kick to release an officially supported API, because I can build my own. This API will cache a lot of data, making it highly efficient and, most importantly, fast. It provides endpoints with stable names and interfaces. It returns data that is a lot easier to consume for general purposes. To give you an example, the subscribers list is generated from the sub-history table in your dashboard. It is sorted by time, so the latest subscribers are found in the last page. The website's API only lets you specify an offset in the number of rows you want to retrieve from that offset. So I make an initial request while completely ignoring the data that it returns just to look at the total number of rows. Then I calculate the offset to the last batch of rows and make requests going backwards until I stumble upon a row whose subscription data has expired. The website's API also doesn't provide a WebSocket that tells you when somebody goes live. The one that it has was broken at the time that I needed it, so I created one myself that under the hood pulls the website's API for the status and sends messages through the WebSocket whenever it detects changes. I call them pull bears. The biggest advantage of having a service dedicated to be an API for Kick.com is that the implementation details are hidden from the rest of the system. If Kick removes, let's say for instance, the sub-history table from the dashboard, I'll just have to look for a different source of subscribers. You may have noticed this if statement. I found out that the website is returning a total that is completely wrong. I don't know how, but it's not counting every single row in the table. And I only noticed that because some people weren't being listed in my extension. To compensate, I look ahead. I make an additional request to see if there's any rows after the total number of rows. And I'm not afraid of Antarctica melting and losing my polar bears because I will be able to listen to their stream status events once they fix the WebSocket. I remember when the big chat update happened. Chat overlays, chatbots stopped working, but I was able to get my stream setup up and running again pretty quickly. I didn't need to change a single line of code in my bots and services. All the changes were done deep inside the internals of my API. I just had to tap into the new source of messages and use a new endpoint to send messages. Took me about 30 minutes, with unit tests included. Oh yes, there are unit tests, and login details are handled in one place. My API does not expose session tokens. It exposes tokens that represent sessions instead. So no cookies, no passwords are exposed in my services. I can revoke my own set of tokens anytime, so if they leak, I'm not gonna be worried. Authentication did break for a while. I'm gonna elaborate on that in a little bit. Well, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I'm able to provide a unique experience on Kick.com. You might now be wondering, Chadium, are you going to open source it? Yesn't. Let me explain. Months ago, as a thank you for supporting me, I provided the source code to all my Ko-Fi supporters. But over the following weeks, I noticed that Kick.com was being flooded by chatbots. I have no proof that my code was responsible or used to abuse Kick.com, but the timing was suspicious. I took the code down. This is why we can't have nice things. Kick.com devs tightened the security of the website. Now when you log in, you're prompted for a code that is sent to your email address. This broke my autonomous authentication system. My API was able to log in automatically, but now it doesn't. So I ditched the old system and built a new one. I'm not going to reveal how I fixed it, because the old code that I had made available is more or less useless to script kiddies now. The spam has since then stopped, so this measure actually worked out. To the Kick devs, I'm sorry. Kick.com is great. It's only a matter of time until Kick.com offers a public API as well. I truly believe that third-party developers are gonna give creative streamers the tools that they need to make unique experiences when they're not abused.